Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to our first webinar of the MPMA Plastech Month 2025. Today's webinar is entitled Smart Manufacturing and Practical Automation. My name is Sujata and I'll be your MC for today. So before we begin, can we just invite everyone to watch a short video presentation to introduce the MPMA Plastech Month 2025? Can we have the video? Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate MPMA for organizing this conference, which will highlight the latest development in the plastic industry, covering various topics such as circular economy, recycling trend and technologies, and smart manufacturing.
This is how we do the measurement of the true ore part. And I believe in this plastic industry, we also have a lot of dimensions that we need to check.
So ladies and gentlemen, that was the video for the MPMA Plastech Month 2025. Let me now just take a few minutes to run through with all of you the etiquette for the webinar for today. So you would have noticed that we have muted and we have turned off all of your videos so that there are no disruptions throughout the webinar. If you have to ask any questions, please post these questions into the Q&A box during the webinar. And the speakers will only answer questions that are clearly written and based on their presentations. And please refrain from marketing your goods and services in the Q&A chat box. That chat box is basically only for queries or questions related to the presentation. So if we have anyone who tries to market their company or their goods and services, we will remove those participants from the webinar. Okay, so the MPMA Plastech Month is brought to you by MPMA with the generous support of our sponsors from the Malaysian plastics industry. Please just allow me to thank our sponsors, Petronas Chemicals Group Berhad being our gold sponsor, Alliance Bank Malaysia Berhad, Arbek Sdn Berhad, Control Union Malaysia Sdn Berhad, Clarion Singapore Private Limited, Data Color Asia Pacific Hong Kong Limited, ExxonMobil Chemical Malaysia Sdn Berhad, Fangsheng Machinery Company Limited, Haitian Huiyen Singapore Private Limited, Cohley Printing and Converting Machines Private Limited, Monitor ERP Systems Southeast Asia, and Tederick Machinery Company Limited. So these are our silver sponsors, and also not to mention our other sponsors such as Kampf, Jagenberg Group and Reifenhauser Asia Pacific Company Limited. We just want to take this opportunity to thank all our sponsors for making the MPMA Plastech Month 2025 a reality. And we also would like to have a special mention to MATRADE, the Malaysian External Trade Development Corporation, and the Ministry of Housing and Local Government, MOHG, for participating and speaking at the MPMA Plastech Month 2025. Without further ado now, I would like to introduce to you our moderator for today. He's none other than Mr. Keith Tay. Keith is the Deputy Managing Director of CPI KL Sdn Berhad. I would now like to pass the session to Mr. Keith Tay. Keith, the floor is yours.
Hi, good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome on a Tuesday morning. Hope it isn't as cloudy at your place as it is at mine. So good to see everyone after, I think 3 years ago. So it's a real pleasure to be your moderator for today. We are thrilled to have you with us to discuss a topic that's on everyone's mind for the good part of the last decade, which is basically the future of manufacturing and how can we all be on top of the wave. It's clear that the next industrial revolution is not just a concept. Companies here in Malaysia and across the globe are facing challenges and opportunities from robotics, smart manufacturing, Industry 4.0, and now the hot topic is the word AI, to building resilient supply chains and meeting urgent sustainability goals in all of these matters. So how do we move from theory to practice? That's why we are all here today. We've brought together a series of experts who are leaders in their field to share their expertise. So just a few housekeeping notes before we start. The session is interactive. The Q&A box is already open, and we will answer the questions at the end of each speaker. So please do not hesitate to leave your questions in the question and answer box. Secondly, your feedback is very important to us. So a quick poll will pop up at the end of the session. And we appreciate if you can take a moment to complete it, as it will help to improve our future sessions. So we have a great lineup for you today. We are looking at transformation from several angles. We'll first begin with K.A. Ng from ICA 40, who will introduce us Industry 5.0, a framework for enhancing organizational productivity and long-term sustainability. Following that, we will zoom out to Raymond Kwan of INSEAD. As a leading voice in this field, he will unpack world-renowned frameworks like SIRI and COSIRI that provide clear, actionable roadmaps for smart, sustainable transformation. And of course, the discussion on digital transformation will not be complete without addressing security or cybersecurity. So Kakit Tan from HWD Systems will join us to discuss CyberSure, an initiative to make digital resilience simple, practical, and accessible for businesses of all sizes. And finally, we will see technology in action. KJ Ng from Novatech will show us how collaborative robots or cobots are revolutionizing manufacturing practices right now. We have a lot to cover, so again, please feel free to leave your questions in the question and answer box where we will address them with the distinguished panels. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce Dan Ng, Business Development Director at ICA 40. Dan is at the forefront of industrial transformation, or K.A. Ng, he likes to be addressed as Dan, bringing us a wealth of experience from his past roles as Business Development Manager at Schlumberger and Product Manager for Business Innovation at AVNet Technology Solutions. With a strong background in computer technology, Dan Ng has proven track record of delivering enterprise-level solutions for major clients like Telecom Malaysia, Tokyo Marine, and leaders in the energy sector. Today, he will introduce us QE 5.0, a comprehensive framework designed to enhance organizational productivity and long-term sustainability. Then we'll explore how QE 5.0 bridges the gap between operational excellence and digital transformation, integrating advanced technologies to create a data-driven, quick response, quality culture that addresses key industry challenges. Please give a warm round of welcome to Dan Ng.
Hi, good morning. I hope everyone hears me okay. So let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Dan, and I'm representing ICA 40 and also the QE 5.0 community. So thanks, Keith. Thanks to Jata, and also thanks to MPMA for having me here today. Let me just share my screen quickly, and I shall be proceeding with my slide. to talk about QE 5.0. So what QE 5.0 means is actually quality environment 5.0. So what do we do really here is basically to create a community of quality people as well as the quality environment in a working environment, right? So, there are only four topics to go through. Okay, basically for today, since that I have only less than 30 minutes to talk about. Okay, but of course, if you wanted to know more, you can actually reach out to us. No problem. Um, so basically, we've been around for a decade now. Okay. We are very friendly to the government. Okay. Particularly the Malaysian government as well as the Japanese government. Reason being is that our intention is pretty simple and pretty clear that we actually help the Malaysians manufacturers to actually uplift the standard to meet up with the international standard. So that's the whole idea of what we are doing over here. Why are we actually pretty close with the Japanese government is that there's a lot of Japanese manufacturing here in Malaysia. Of course, there will be a gap between the Japanese top management and also the local employees here in Malaysia. So our job, our role is to actually narrow down the gaps between both parties. Okay, and one and the very important thing is that we will help our client to actually deliver the message all the way down to the lower staffs. Okay, so having said so, one of the few things that we actually do here in Malaysia is that we help to come up with blueprints. We help in process forensics. We help in identifying what is the best practices to be employed or deployed into the manufacturing in Malaysia itself. Okay. And of course, as you may see, there's a lot of things that we have done before this, but ultimately, for RMK 13, Rancangan Malaysia ke-13, we are actually moving forward with a program called as QE 5.0. Okay. Now, these are some of the snapshots that we have done over the years. 1111 is the first time that we actually encountered and also worked together, officiate ourselves to work together with NPC. And these are some of the results that I'm able to actually put in as a snapshot. Of course, there are so many more, but our job is to train up as many specialists as we can find. We call themselves as quality 5.0 specialists to help us to extend it within the organization or externally to other organizations to adopt a quality environment, modern management way to actually manage your company moving forward. Uh, when you engage with ICA 40, so these are the 4%. I would say these are the 3% that you will see a lot. Okay, my boss, Katie Ng, and my chief data scientist, Dr. Ng, and myself. I'm from the sales, Dan, and of course, Jovin. Jovin is our backend that actually does all the hardcore programmings and codings and stuff. Okay, to make our clients' wish list fulfilled. Okay, so this is to actually tell you that we are the first batch of NPC specialists. Actually, in fact, we have more than this, but it's just that those are actually still in progress, where they actually correct some typos in it. Okay, so these are the eight recognition that I should be able to share by now, right now. So right before we actually go into what is QE 5.0, it is very important to know that everyone has a goal. Okay. I mean, of course, we are not talking about personal goals over here. we are talking about the industry goals, the business goal, and also in NPC perspective, we call it X-nexus. Okay. Our goal, as a company perspective, we are actually looking at the S11. Okay. Uh, it is our job or our duty to make sure that the company makes profit. Okay. Making profit, yes, you can make profit, but how much are you making? Is the gap uh enough or is too thin or so on and so forth? Okay. Our job is to make sure that we maximize our profit. Okay. And by having said so, it always comes in three. Okay. There are three things that we are looking at. First, we have to have a group of loyal and happy customers. Okay. People that buy from us, okay, and constantly buy from us, recurring purchases and keep ourselves being sustained in the business, all right? And the second thing is basically where we're talking about cost saving. Okay. Whatever that we do, okay, savings is one of the most important thing. Okay, why is that so? The revenue minus the savings, you will get the actual margin. That's the basic rule of thumb. Okay. And of course, one of the last one is basically be the best in class. So when your competitor is actually walking, you are already running right in front of them. When they actually started running, you're already flying in the sky. So basically that's the theory. So just like what all the philosophers says, you are always three steps ahead of everyone, particularly your competitor. All right. So now when we say this, ultimately the equation is pretty simple. Okay. When you maximize the profit, it's actually equals to the productivity. So now, how do we actually quantify or how do we control the productivity? There are always three things that we are looking at. First, the quality of the product or services, you need to ensure that, okay? And then, of course, you need to maintain when you create the quality product or quality services that you have rendered and offered to your customer, it has to be always on the lowest operation cost, okay? And of course, if you can make sure that you are running it on a low cost and serving the best quality, it has to be on time as well. Okay, now what is on time and what is in time? Okay, we put names into perspective. Toyota is in time, just in time. Okay, I know it's pretty hard and pretty far-fetched for Malaysian to do that. So what we do is that as long as it's on time, we are fine. Okay, your customer will be happy, and then you can retain your loyal customers and the happy customers. Okay, and how do I say that? It's pretty simple. Whatever that you deliver it on time, okay, it is the best of quality, and the price is justifiable. Okay, so that is something that retain the group of customers from going to your competitor. All right. Now, when you have that, when you manage it nicely or you manage it well, there are three things that we are looking at. Okay. The first being the people. People is the most important thing. If you are in manufacturing, the people that actually does your product, operator, okay, the operators in your company is the very, very important asset that you have. Okay. Because why? It's pretty simple. Whatever that particular person is doing is direct reflect to your customer. All right. The lesser mistakes that the people actually is doing is beneficial to your company. And of course, people create environment. Okay. And when people create environment, that environment is actually suitable or not for your working environment or what we call as Gemba, it is very important as well. Okay. So, and of course, in everything that we do, we have processes. So if we manage people, environment, and all the processes well, that means we are talking about high quality, we are talking about cost saving, and the last but not least, we are talking about delivery on time. Okay? Now, As such, we actually introduce a term called quality environment. So in quality environment, we break them into two categories. We call it the OPEX and the DX. So in OPEX, what do we do is basically to talk about operational excellence. And digital, well, it's just digital, all right? It's just a platform to actually facilitate, okay, your processes into an automated way to actually go forward and sustain it, all right? But in OPEX, we target three things: people, environment, and last but not least, the processes. Okay, I will go through more. The flagship product that actually we have in the bag is actually called as Real Data and Ada AI. All right. Real data means we do mentoring and hand-holding sessions. Okay. 20% in a class and 80% we bring you guys to Gemba. Okay. And how do we start? We start with Lean, we have QRQC, we have data science, we have ESG and SDG. We actually, in fact, we have much more than this. Things like intentions, we have TPM, total productive maintenance, where we actually pass it to our client to practice the best practices within the organization itself. Okay. And of course, for other AI, we are looking at MOMS, the Manufacturing Operation Management System, the IoTs, the analytics. And analytics is one thing that everyone is actually talking about nowadays. Okay. And of course, last but not least, the AI. Today, we have about in-house, I think we have about 9 or 10 AI currently. We have Gen AI, we have deep learning, we have timestamp, and so on and so forth. Linear, non-linear regression. So all these AI are reflecting to processes, certain processes that you may have in your environment for us to actually automate and be better. We can actually learn from the trend that you have to make things, repetitive things, into an automated monitoring. All right. Now, this is our customer. We have 150, and I'm so proud when I actually show this slide. Last week itself is the first time that we actually extended our footprint to Sabah. Okay, it's actually in Kampung Pari, in between Sandakan and also Kinabatangan. So this is our first customer, and our customer is actually running 16,000 hectares of plantation. So we are helping them to actually optimize their environment through QRQC, IoT, and also minor system development on their environment. And also, we help them to actually run through some AI, like LiDAR scanning on their plantation to monitor their landscape topology, and also to make sure that the yield harvesting is actually on par. Okay, but ultimately, most of our customers is actually on the peninsula. We have more than 150. I lost count. I can't remember how many of them that actually go through our program. And in the program itself, we help them particularly on the lean management part to make sure that the company identify all the key processes and also eliminate all the 7 days that they have or potentially have in their environment. Without realizing, most of the companies here in Malaysia itself, okay, I will have one slide to talk about it, but most of the time when we actually look at it, right, unconsciously we actually have a lot of waste in the environment that we can actually mitigate or we can actually get rid of to in order for us to be efficient and also cost we maintain at a very low cost operation. All right. So we have 150 since 2021. We established the company since 2017. So my boss decided to be very generous to actually run it on the background, doing a lot of R&D and so forth. So we decided to come out on the first day after the endemic. All right. So for digital transformation, we are not promoting it widely. So what we do is that we organically grow from the existing customers that we have, and the word of mouth from our clients, from one company to another company to recommend us. Okay, we actually start off with IoT, MOMS, analytics, and also AI. Right? These are some of our customers. I'm not able to actually put everything here. So these are some of the key customers that we have. We are having a very large organization, MNCs, all the way down to a very small Malaysian-owned company. But most of our clients are actually exporting internationally. Okay, even Siti Khadijah, they do actually have their telecom sold in out of Malaysia as well. Okay, so most of our customers are very cautious about the quality produced in their environment, and as well as it has to keep themselves competitive if compared to people like in China or Vietnamese as their closest competitor. So we need to make sure that everything is as lean as they can, as cost saving as they can, so that they can actually maximize the margin and be competitive in the global market trend. All right. Now, how do we start? First thing first, as you may notice, we start off with, let me just pull out my pen. You start off with people. So the first group of people that we have to talk to is the management. All right. So the management has to give us the 100% or 1000% of their commitment to the program. If the customer and the environment, okay, is not supported by the management, it's going to be quite difficult for us to move forward. So the commitment from the management is very crucial. And once we actually have the commitment, we will help to build a right working culture. The right working culture is basically to employ or deploy the QE 5.0 platform into their environment based on what is the current needful environment. Like for instance, every customer they will have their difference. Okay, some they may need 5S, some they may need lead management, and some they can actually go straight to quick response quality culture. All right. So of course, all this program itself is catered to go to Gemba. All right. The difference between us and other providers is that we handhold throughout months and months. Okay, it depends on your requirement. Some can go up to 5 years, okay, to actually enhance your working environment to make it from better to best, all right, optimize entirely. So we first are targeting the people. So we need to make sure the quality that you have from the people that you employ is actually outshine and also being uncovered in your organization. And from there, they are passionate about what they are doing. And then what they do is that they will actually do things right. That is the most important thing, and put things into their heart to make sure that everything has been done accordingly. All right. And of course, once you actually have that, we will actually identify the processes you have in your environment. So whatever that we do is to actually make sure the processes, it has to be on par or better. Okay. We will identify what is your key processes that you have through our Lean tool, which is what we call as the visual management. Okay, what are the processes you have? Okay, in that particular segment to produce something at that point in time. Okay, we will make sure that whatever that we are doing over here is right, okay, is the shortest, and we must not compensate the quality of that particular product. All right. And of course, once we actually identify that, we need to actually put them into a KPI system, which is what we call as the quick response quality culture. All right. When something happens, okay, what we need to do to rectify or make sure that is been addressed accordingly. All right. And of course, uh, we as a very Japanese-oriented company, we always look at Kaizen. Okay. We don't feel complacent. Okay. We always make ourselves to think what can be improvised even further. So when we do that, ultimately itself, it will actually make ourselves better and better to get into the ring to fight against everyone else in the world. Okay. I'll give you an example. The same name, Toyota. All right. Toyota, I cannot deny that they produces very quality car. All right. Best car. Okay. Hardly you can see a breakdown Toyota on the roadside. Okay. But having said so, they know that in order for them to penetrate into foreign market, they need to actually do something better. Okay. How can you do something better when you are the best in the class? Okay. So basically what they do is that they know, okay, Toyota, the name, is equals to quality plus cheap. Okay. So what they do is that they need to uplift their game. They need to produce something which is luxurious, and therefore they introduces Lexus in terms of engine capacity and capability, in terms of outlook, in terms of infographics, okay, in terms of look and feel, they are Toyota enhanced version. So that's basically the spirit that we have to instill within the local manufacturers to their employees. Okay? And now, as you may actually ask me, Industry 4.0, many, many years ago, since 2017, everyone is pushing the technology, pushing automation, pushing robotics, and so on and so forth. But the question that you have to ask yourself, are you ready? Okay. Once you're ready, you accept them wholeheartedly. So meaning to say, you accept them and you deploy it into your environment to make sure that the whole thing actually works according to what you wish for. Okay. Not as a white elephant project. Okay. Of course, once you actually have that, very, very importantly, we are looking at 6 items over here. We need to make sure that we increase the productivity. We have to ensure the highest quality. We have to ensure it's running on the lowest cost possible so that you can be very competitive and also thicken your margin. All right. And then the delivery must be on time. Whatever that you have promised to your customer, you have to deliver right then and then or before it. It cannot be exceeded. All right. And then, of course, this is targeted to your people, the morale and the morality. Okay. If you have good people in your environment, just like the Navy does, okay, it will excel. Okay. And of course, last one is actually representing a lot of words now. Okay. It first started off with safety. Now it become security, okay, sustainability. And also one of the very important thing that we are actually looking at is the job security. People would love to work for a company that bear the fruits, okay, and as well as they will be able, okay, to sustain for the next 10, 20, 30, or forever, okay, years, okay. So, very importantly also, we are actually looking at the job security, okay. People have confidence when they work for you, all right? Now, throughout the years, okay, remember that I told you earlier, we have established since 2017. Uh, Actually, we started since 2013, 2014. Okay. But that time we actually do it on a solo basis. Okay. We help the current manufacturers to actually expose themselves into technology as well as the right way of working. They call it the right working culture. All right. But ultimately from there, okay, we actually noticed something over the time until 2021. There are problems in Malaysia that technology cannot resolve, not even robotics or not even automation. Okay. It is actually so dark inside that actually burn into their environment where people are dealing with old data. Okay, that means they do not have a lot of data in their environment. The data collection is in manual basis, is in paper form, or worst thing, okay, that we actually realize they don't even have data at all. It's actually implant in the brain and they say, oh, okay, this is like that, like that, like that. Then that's about it, okay? And when the boss asks, okay, what happened 3 months ago? And people eventually can't answer that particular question, all right? And then, of course, when things happen, okay, there is no proper way for them to respond or to keep track, okay, and to actually cross-reference to make it better. Okay, a lot of times when we actually have problems in our environment, we will gather everyone around and then we start talking about things and all that. How do we do that? But at the end of the day, we don't have results at all. Okay, we don't have it at all. Okay, when the boss asks, okay, eventually it will be actually overwhelmed with the new problems that they have. So sooner or later, it will be long forgotten, and then the things will be keep repeating. All right. And then, of course, like what I say, repeating, whatever that actually happens before, they do not have something to record it. Okay, so when it happens again, then it depends on the technician or operator or the engineer, and says that okay, if that happens, you just do this, this, and this. Okay, but of course, when you do that, okay, yeah, you're right, you can actually resolve it, but the recurrence are many. Okay, they comes in many, many times. Okay, so in ICA 40, as the nutshell, so what do we do is to actually give them real-time information. All right, we deploy quick response quality culture into the environment. Okay, and last but not least, whatever that we have spoken before, like whatever that we have done, whatever that have occurred in your environment, we put them into a proper documentation. Okay, so as such, when we actually do that, okay, it will become a library or a data bank for all the employees, okay, or the engineers to rectify or cross-reference to. Okay, and of course, all that itself, it will begin by knowing where you are. Okay, you don't have to answer me, and I don't think you can actually able to answer me physically here. All right, but question yourself, where are you now? Okay. The German says we have Industry 4.0. So there are four revolutions here in Malaysia. Okay. But in Malaysia, it doesn't work. Okay. In Malaysia, we have six in total. Okay. You have people from level zero where they don't have intention to change because they thought they are the best in class. They thought they are already in place. There's nothing much to improvise further. Okay. But of course, moving on to the next one, okay, which is one of the largest in Malaysia currently, is people that actually has a lot of documentation. So they have ISO in place, they have silo and manual processes tracking, they have accounting system, they have HR system, inventory and the basic IT. Okay, this is basically that a typical startup module for all the manufacturers and companies here in Malaysia. So you have the basic necessities that you need to run your business. But of course, in here, uh,
Sorry, Dan, I need to interrupt you. Can you wrap
yes,
up in 1 minute as we have some
sure.
questions to address? Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Can yep. So we have level two where we actually talk about machinery. We talk about automated environment where we put things into a automation ways. And then last but not least, within the data collection point is basically the IoT and M2M. All right, and of course it comprises of sensors, RFIDs, integrated systems, and so forth. Okay, level 4 and level 5 is basically talking about Industry 4.0. Okay, where you actually utilizes whatever that you have collected in your environment to be actually presented into a dashboard environment or a effective reporting and analysis. Okay, and of course AI comes in level 5. Yep. So below is basically the effort that you require to actually do that based on our experience. Is minimum of 6 months or all the way up to 12 months or even more if you want more division. Transformation particularly on the digital side and industrial 4, once everything is there, you typically take about 3 to 6 months. And of course, how do we do it? It's pretty simple. First thing first, we will deploy our specialists into your environment. We will understand what is happening in your environment, and then we will actually deploy what consultancy and advisory that you may need. And of course, we will actually do a certification based on your current environment. And if need be or require be, we will make your place as a lighthouse for the industry to refer to your environment. Currently, we are actually targeting about 20 of them by end of this year. We achieved 13 already, so we have 7 more to go until the end of the year. All right? And with that, thanks very much and arigatou gozaimashita. Terima kasih.
Thank you. Then we have one question from the
Sure.
audience from Mr. Eddie Fong. Right. Of course, the first step in any transformation is the people.
Yes.
Can you share how people plays a part in the transformation process?
Sure. Okay. So, typically, I'm speaking on behalf of our experience, okay, in the organization that we actually went through, throughout 150 and more customers. People plays an important part, okay, particularly the blue collars, okay. I give you an example. In one of the company, in Moore, okay, a sofa manufacturer, per se, okay, they actually employ close to 100% foreign workers from many countries, Nepal, Myanmar, and also Vietnam, okay, in their environment, okay. They speak the different language. They have different level of education. They don't talk to each other, and they are very silo within their department. Okay, so the employer have difficulty to talk to them. That's number one. Number two, we always communicate based on our superiority. Okay, that's the typical human. Okay, so how do we actually address them? Is pretty simple. When you try to speak to them in Bahasa or English or Hawaii, all right, it is quite difficult for us to articulate what we wanted. Okay, so how do we do that? We actually put them into indicators. Okay, color coding, numbers. These are the things that they cannot deny that they do not know. All right, everyone know red color means no good. All right, that means stop. That means you have to do something about it. All right, and everyone knows that green color is okay, is fine. This is something that I'm actually looking forward to. All right, we put them into divisions. Okay, and each division itself, they have their own objective and the productivity level. Okay. So what we do is we will actually speak to them, understand their environment, understand the department, what they do need to actually do it. As in like what sort of things that they need to comply or they need to actually achieve at the end of the day. Okay. Put it as a target. Once you actually have a target, okay, you will know either you achieve or you don't achieve it. So if you achieve it, you get a green. If you don't achieve it, you get a red color. And with that, the managers, the line leaders, and all that, they will know what to do next. Like, for instance, they have another shortage of 5. So do they need to actually continue with the OT? Or rather to speak, do they need to actually buck up a little bit to actually make it faster? Okay, so these are the things that we are actually doing. So hence, when they actually start to speak with data, okay, this is the time where this company is ready for adoption of technology. Now, people, technology. When people are ready, when they adapt the technology, it goes immediately. Believe it or not, that company itself is actually about 150 over employees. In the production, there's only one production, Malaysian production manager. The rest of the production workers, the operators, the line leaders, supervisors are all foreign workers based on their ethnicity. They will guard their own team. So what we do is we will make sure that these guys are able to actually communicate with data. And from there and then, we automate it with our ADA AI MOMS, okay, which is the manufacturing operation system. They are able to actually keep track on what are they doing and what is the achievement and what is their quality of their output. All right. So basically, we cover from people all the way up to technology.
Okay. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you so much.
Certainly very enlightening on how the people plays an important role in the shop floor and digital transformation. May I just ask you if you can share your slide
Sure.
while we proceed to the next speaker? It is my great pleasure to introduce Raymond Klein as the founder and CEO of the International Center of Industrial Transformation, otherwise known as INSIT, based out of Singapore. Raymond is a global thought leader at the forefront of the next industrial revolution. Under his leadership, INSIT's mission is to empower businesses and governments to accelerate industrial transformation. To do this, he spearheads the development of globally recognized frameworks that provides practical and actionable roadmaps. I'm sure you all have heard some of this before, such as Siri and CoSiri, as well as the artificial intelligence adoption with the AIMRI. This mission is built on his formidable 30-year career at Siemens, giving him an unparalleled experience in digital transformation. He's here today to help us move theory to practice in smart manufacturing and automation. Please join me in welcome Raymond Klein.
Audio on. So can you see my slides?
Yes.
Good. Let me minimize that one. Okay, Raymond is my name. The subline I chosen is the 90% problem, why industrial AI readiness is leaving manufacturers behind. My presentation is structured in 4 parts. First part, what are we doing? Second part, digital transformation, where's the world? And education is one topic here. Number 3 is an example of a country who lost export capabilities because they had a scattered investment approach. And number 4 is about industrial AI, where are we and why 90% of manufacturers will have huge problems to enter industrial AI. So who we are? We are a non-for-profit organization. We have, let's say, owing the intellectual property of all the portfolio elements I show you now. Actually, we are a platform business, so we scale through the platform and local providers. By example, SHRDC in Kuala Lumpur is our partner in Malaysia. And we have local certified assessors, which normally come from technology companies, from consulting companies, or from companies itself. By example, Hitachi is measuring his 425 plants with Siri to compare the plants to identify best practice. I will not go through all the slides because I have quite a lot of information. If you from the audience want to have the presentation, please approach the organizer and he will give you the presentation. What are the problems actually the manufacturers have worldwide? We are now in over 70 countries active. As Insight, we pronounce ourselves wrong because we collect a lot of data. And how do we collect that data? Because we, number 1, measure the digital maturity of manufacturers because they don't know where they are. This is the first problem they have. And they don't know where they are from a perspective of my organization, the education of it, the processes, standardized, digitalized, and which technology do I enable as a next step. The same then is when you know where is your maturity, let's go to AI. Which elements does industrial AI consist of and which are relevant to my current maturity position I'm in? So the overall topic is where do I start, how do I scale, and how do I sustain my transformation? And the last but not least topic is now you put a lot of efforts in the transformation, but you don't see the impact. So how do I measure the ROI, the quality, productivity, impact of my transformation? I will answer those questions in my presentation. So these are our local business partners. We focus purely on manufacturing companies to evaluate their current state of operation, and our system, together with the assessors, will make an auto road mapping. What is the next transformation dimension, element they need to focus on, and what are the details to be implemented? The certified assessors coming from, let's say, the training centers, it's SHRDC, and here they get trained, exam, and then they get access to our software platform, enter the data, and our software platform is generating an automatic report. I will show you later how they do it and how we do it. For governments, we aggregate the data to industry anonymously to industry cluster. And I will show you an example. One government of a developed country came to us because I mentioned at the beginning they lost their export capabilities. Equity companies to shorten their due diligence process. Now, where's the world? We have thousands of assessments in our database, and actually we measure the implementation between 0 and 5 bands. And when we're looking after 15 years, and the presenter before me said the German invented it, but unfortunately, I must say I'm German, and also the German did not have a lot of success to implementing it. Because when you see the difference between Europe, North America, South America, and Asia, there's not much difference. But if you want to interpret the data and then put it yellow, there is one big problem. If the organization build block is not advancing the technology build block by 0.8 bandwidth, also on single site manufacturer level, the organization will not be able to enable further the technologies, which means you will have a stagnation in productivity. And this we have worldwide at the moment. The productivity is declining. The inflation rate is fueled, the product prices are increasing, and the unemployment rate is increasing. And this is actually, let's say, as a sum, that's what this picture is showing you. Underneath is the star rating. So our system generate a star rating, and here you will see 1 or 2 stars, where you immediately can interpret where on average are the continents I just showed. One, Australia. Australia, the mining industry has completely damaged the manufacturing setup in Australia. So I go further. These are our elements here. Micro SMEs. We have around about 300 million micro SMEs. Operational Excellence Readiness Index, 2 to 6 hours assessment, self-assessment. In Apple iStore, we will launch Bahasa on the 15th of November. The costs are very low, 32 euro, and actually it's with animated videos, and it's for micro SMEs, less than 30 people. If we go to digital transformation, so our system operational excellence, when you reach band 3 to 5, they will say move into digital transformation, smart industry readiness index. And when you achieve band 3, our system will say move into industrial AI. Then we have also consumer sustainability. This is very much how to reach net zero, how to do a circular product design that SMEs are able to export in future to circular economies. So our systems are mapped with each other, and on the left side, you see the duration of these assessments. So operational excellence is only 2 to 6 hours, and you get a report with a single site analytics and benchmarking. We have digital transformation, which is 2-day series. And new, we will launch end of November, AMRI, Industrial Artificial Intelligence Maturity Readiness Index. We developed AMRI since 12 months. So let's start with digital maturity, digital transformation. What we measure, let's start with the organization on the right side, because here we see we have a very big problem in the data. What we collect, we can read that always leadership is great, band 5. And the workforce is 2. But now our system is intelligent. We cut leadership then and pull it down to 3 band, because it cannot be that leadership is 5 and the workforce is always so bad. And here we have the biggest problem in the education. It's always about workforce, but actually leadership. Executive learning is a topic. So what technologies do exist? How do I enable them, and how do I budget them? Because only when the organization is enabled, they will then pull the technology up to the next level. We measured our data, and then later I come why AI is a big problem before and after COVID. And when you screen the QR code, you have a flip chart where you see the data of all the world and how we interpret the data. But what you see is stagnation shock on the left side. So the variance between, let's say, the two red lines, the two blue and the two green, is around about 4 years, where we measured on the left side the bottom 10%, the red line. The blue line is the broad 80%, and the right is the top performers in digital transformation, the top 10%. When you please, I want to stress the top line, this zero maturity band, because when I'm going to, let's say, purely the performance of the companies worldwide, 90% of them are below band 2, which means digital footprint established. They are at the beginning of digital transformation. And if you don't have data access through the shop connectivity, if you don't have the right, let's say, data seamless integration, I'm coming at the end to it, AI is far away from reaching you. So our system is actually creating an automatic roadmap. It replaces the strategic department, so to say. This is how we structure the data. I give you an example. On the left side, you have fast-moving consumer goods. The industry segment would be 59 of them cosmetics. And the industry subsegment would be the production category, head and shoulders, sun and skin, beauty and color. So actually, we compare from the depth structure of our data, apple with apple. With it, you're coming from a more reactive decision making, also for governments, to a more proactive decision making. And this is a developed country who approached us. They lost the export leadership, and they ask us, how is our digital maturity compare to the other, let's say, capita by GDP countries? And what you see here, the orange column, they are very low. And then we did the best bottom and broad middle performer of the 17 countries. And the red line here in this graph, no, sorry, the orange line describes the country who approached us. So the aggregated multinationals in these countries, in this country, are as good or worse as the bottom 10% of the 17 countries. Now, that's very good, Raymond, but what is the root cause? We collect data from manufacturers that you can release the data without giving us secret data. So by example, we collect the cost profile between 0 and 100%. And what you see here is that this country did not invest on a broad base in new technologies, which means the depreciation is here only 3.99%, and the remaining 17 countries is 16%. But by reaching cost leadership, they lost it because labor, raw material, SG&A is higher only because technology needs better maintenance and higher maintenance and utility cost. But overall, they lost the cost leadership and they lost the export capabilities. Now, moving into AI, we developed the Smart Industry Readiness Index, which I just touched briefly with McKinsey company. And here this we developed with German Telekom because of 5G, because you need to extract the data in real time. And actually what we have, the interesting part is normally we have higher levers for implementation to reach something in digital maturity and operational excellence. But in AI, we have much more enablers like get your technology right, the IT infrastructure, the AI data readiness, get your model management deployment right. I'm going more into detail. And in the organization, then also ethical and eco-efficiency, because it could be that your old product over the life cycle of 15 years when it's used has a much more higher efficiency than an AI chip, which need a lot of energy at the end of the day. So we see two trends in the market. What you see below are the 20 dimensions how we measure the industrial artificial maturity readiness of companies, but we have two trends. We have AMRI 12. These are only 12 dimensions we normally then assess. This is when you buy the model on a chip, which means you need not to train the model capabilities, the performance. You need not to handle the AI lifecycle. This is done by the chip and by the external company. So what our system is doing, it's not telling you what you need to do as a next step, because this is what everybody can say. But I think what you need to do is this and that. Our system is saying where you are and how to implement the next step to reach, it's an iteration, the next bandwidth. It is very complex. AI is the black belt of transformation. So how do we automate that to take away this complexity, which I show you after this slide, of AI from the customer, that you have, let's say, an easy to handle report where you can focus on what do I need to do. Number one is the assessors get trained and they do an assessment. For AMRI 12, it's 3 days. For AMRI 20, it's 5 days. Then we look into your cost profile, and you need to define which cost block you want to address. And this will be then ticked in our software platform. And what are the key performance indicators? Is it quality? Is it productivity? Is it autonomous production rate? What do you want to achieve? Then we take worldwide the best in class in your industry segment. And then this is the proximity factor. Our system calculates where you are, customized what you want to address, and compared to best in class, what is the dimensions you need to focus on as a next step. With these dimensions also coming along a detailed road mapping. At the moment, it's done by our assessors. And our system will always focus on assessors, but we enable at the moment and program AI to verify if the proposed transformation detail roadmap could be a little bit more, let's say, streamlined. To show you the complexity, why we automate the whole thing is what you see here is operations management with AI. And you see here on top the band 0 to band 5. And we have guiding statements, but we have proof points. And each proof point describes operations management on production, on quality, on maintenance. And these proof points are described in a band 0 to 5. And this is the training our assessors get for 1 week, 40 hours from SHRDC here. So again, companies and whoever want to have it, you can take it. Wait. Now we're coming to everybody who is owning a factory says, Raymond, very nice. We transform and transform, but I don't see the impact. So what we defined are enterprise performance impact KPIs. And here we measure the KPIs for enhanced operational efficiency. I'm going more into detail. In AI, infrastructure and data readiness, by example, if your data readiness is less than 50%, the accuracy of your model is not okay. So you need further to develop, but this is all our system helping you. Sustainable operations, so we measure the energy usage index and the scrap rate that we also put your focus on reducing that was, and the autonomous operation rate. So what you see now here is the KPIs. Our system is collecting through the assessors. We have high proximity to corporate enterprise. We have on the bottom x-axis high proximity to production, and we have difficult to collect data and easy to collect data. And the blue ones are the ones I would like that you focus on, because whenever I visit a manufacturer, he show me a robot with an AI chip and say, we also have AI, but this is not AI, ladies and gentlemen. AI is autonomous operation rate. You have defined your processes, you standardize and you digitalize them. And out of the 5,000 processes on the production, 4,000 are driven by AI. Then you have an autonomous operation rate of 80%. But when you have an autonomous operation rate, you need also to implement the adaptive resource optimization of the supply chain. And this is also done with AI. So what we do, we measure those. On the left side is the headlines of it, the KPIs. Then we show you at the moment as a prerequisite from the economic zone you are in, ASEAN, who is the best and the bottom in class, and where is your actual. In future, we program that you can set a target for to be achieved. And then in the second assessment, we will verify where have you been before? Did the investment you do improve or decrease? This can also be, I must say, the performance. Now comes the last puzzle stone. When our system is recommending the next dimension to focus on, here in the middle part, AI infrastructure, either the managers, leaders, engineers don't know which technology is it which is helping me, or they don't know which company is it who delivers this technology. So we opened Prioritize Plus Marketplace. So from the assessment, we open a client portal for the manufacturing company, and our assessors have a assessor portal. And the upload of the report is in the client portal. And when then he clicks, the customer clicks on AI infrastructure, he sees all the providers who help them to go from band 2 to band 3. And this is all free of charge. And our charging model is very low, I must say. By example, Opry is 32 euro. I don't know how much it is in Malaysian ringgit. And normally, if you are an assessor, I only can tell you in Malaysia, we charge for one assessment 150 euro. What the assessor is charging, we stepping out because we recommend only a list price, but we're not enforcing it. Now, our system is giving you the advice how to reach a 80% autonomous production rate with the how. I said, you know, I was the boss in Siemens from ASEAN for digital industry, and my employees, every time came to me, what do we need to do? We need to fly to the moon. I said, great. How do we do it? Let's meet tomorrow at the entrance. Then we buy at the entrance, no rocket, no gasoline, no metal, nothing. So how do we do? And our system is programmed to give the how answer. How to move from a 0 autonomous operation rate into an 80% autonomous operation rate. The ARO and the advanced material handling will kick in only when you have phase 3 of AI AIMRE reached. Measure it before you are not put in place the prerequisite needed for AI. So what I wanted to say is, if you didn't do your digital maturity homework for connectivity, for data architecture, for the basic automation, and to have the right talents. And now there was one question I saw. What we do is when we have the single side profile over the dimensions and we see what is best in class, we see also what the technology drivers is best in class and where you need to train your people on to make them better and to make out of the normal people then talents. So we have training taxonomies here. We work also together with local training providers. So again, now we launch end of November AIMRE, but we of course did pilots. And the example is 90% is AI no beats 1 star. The people don't like it because the bosses thinks they are much better. But actually it's your friend who is telling you the truth. And you can only improve if you accept where you are and then do the iteration steps. And this is the end of my presentation. So to start a transformation is not the question. It's meanwhile a prerequisite for survival, especially with the tariffs. The problem is, where's your starting point? Is it operational excellence, SME, micro SME, Kaizen, Lean? Is it digital transformation, smart factory? Or you want to jump in industrial AI? You can do that, but the score will be very low and you need to stretch and invest a lot of money there. Now, our system is replacing the strategic department. We do an auto road mapping for the prioritized dimension. And this would be too much, but if you have interest, approach me. I can give you a presentation. We have single site analytics. These are 11 graphs. And we also can change the single site analytics that you get your performance in Malaysia compared to the economic system you want to export to. So you see how is your performance and where you need to improve to be, let's say, on par with your peers to the exporting target. We have matchmaking tools. This is Prioritize Plus that you get guidance which technology helps me in my next step. What we don't have at the moment, this is something we recommend to at the moment for our assessors, that you do a target mapping with these are the targets of your transformation from a dimension and map it with the key functions in your production and give them a target to achieve. And what I also showed, what is unique from our system, we measuring the KPIs then to show the impact of your efforts, or we show that you're falling behind. This can, of course, also be. With it, at the end of my presentation, again, if you want to have the presentation, approach the organizer. He has it already. He will distribute to you. If you want to talk to me, please contact me under contact@insight.org. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raymond. We have a few questions. Looking forward to addressing them. So first off is, how do we engage with INSIT, and by extension, how do we start?
Normally, what you start, there are many possibilities. You educate one of your staff in the factory itself to do an assessment, which I cannot recommend because normally, if your staff is doing your assessment, the staff shows you 30% better than you are. So you should better take an external one, or you take somebody from another factory to do so. But normally it's 40 hours and then you can start the assessment. And again, we have capita by GDP prices. So in Germany, where you pay 6,000, in India, you pay 1,000, in Malaysia, I don't know how much you pay. You need to ask SHRDC. They are our bridgehead there. Now,
And
the question, I can read it. The Malaysian government to accelerate. I have no idea how Malaysian government is doing it. This is a little bit our problem, that politics is one thing and business is another thing. And of course, using our framework is not a Malaysian framework, not invented here. We have it quite often, but those countries using us, they compress the time of development. Then does the Malaysian government enough to accelerate? I must tell you, they do enough, but our experience is that the approach is very often fragmented and the investment are fragmented in 1,000 directions. And this is non-focus, and this is a problem. Yes, we can do a Malaysian government cooperation. I can tell you, we cooperate with Vietnam, we cooperate with Philippine government. I'm flying to Brazil. They're doing 35,000 assessments with us now. We are in Saudi Arabia, we are in Oman, Qatar, and we just opened in UK because they are Make UK and the manufacturing catapult is using then us as a standard because we don't take a lot of money. How can we cooperate? It's also very easy. We need one strong organization in the country, and then we would empower them to drive the show in our name. So we developed the whole thing. We developed everything that you can move the needle very quickly. It's very well thought through because we have interlocks. By example, when your IT infrastructure is not in place and the assessor is doing wrong, that your operation AI is band 5, our system will correct that automatically because AI infrastructure is 2. Maximum you can reach 3 band in operation in AI. So yes, industry association, I give an example. We have referral codes and we give discount for Opry in referral codes. So the industry association get then the data free of charge when they promote it, because the assessment is 32 euro, and we can even discuss to go further down because we are non-for-profit organization. This is the funny part. We have not a problem in pricing, but we have very often the problem with egos. Sorry, I'm smiling. I'm 65 years old. I need not to make career anymore. I'm German, so our language is very straight direct. That's the reason sometimes we coming across it as non-diplomatic. So if you have a question again, you can approach me directly, raymond.klein@insit.org. I answer all questions. Normally, I answer within 2 hours the mails. If there is no further question,
I think, well, like you said, the Malaysian government's approach is also definitely a key criteria to success of a digital transformation. Again, what should organizations do?
focus.
Okay.
Focus.
Foc-
The problem is, don't get me wrong, when I go to Malaysia and we have a group meeting in Malaysia, 10 guys standing up and pulling in each direction because they have a better idea what to do. And then everybody, okay, we're going. And I said, oh. So actually, again, we're not earning money. Yeah. We are here to help to compress the time of transformation for higher productivity, working against the tariffs, so to say, and be competitive for exporting. So we advise also how to export. But our system is doing that. So I would say, I announced yesterday our UK entity from INSIT, and the announcement was the government did really a lot, but non-focused.
Okay. Thank you, Raymond. And to the
Welcome.
participants, if you did not catch his email, please reach out to MPMA or SHRDC to get in touch with INSIT. Moving on.
Sorry, Keith, there was a lady who put her hands up. Her name is Yin Ling.
Yes.
I think just want to tell the participants that if you have questions, I think we are all muted, right? So you have to put your questions into the Q&A or chat box for the moderator to take it up with the speaker. All right.
Uh,
Okay. Thank you.
I don't think they can speak.
They cannot. Correct.
Yeah, that's why. But she has put her hand down.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
again, the question and answer box is there. There are some questions. Feel free to ask. Don't be shy. Okay, moving on. It's also a very hot topic when you read the news of what happened, for example, with Jaguar Land Rover in the UK, who has had to shut down for many weeks and their suppliers are struggling. The topic of cybersecurity has become paramount. So we have Kakit Tan. He's the
Hi,
co-founder and the lead product of
strategic.
CyberSure, a
Yeah.
cybersecurity initiative developed together with a dedicated team to help Malaysian SMEs like us strengthen our digital resilience. With more than 15 years of experience in telecommunication and enterprise sector, Kakit Tan has played a key role in driving digital transformation and innovation across industries. Through CyberSure, Kakit aims to make cybersecurity simple, practical, and accessible, empowering businesses to protect their operations and grow confidently in the digital era. Kakit, the floor is yours.
All right.
Sorry,
Okay.
I have to interrupt again. Sorry, Kakit. I
No
think some
problem.
of the speakers need to leave in a short while. So is it okay if we go ahead and take a group photograph first before they leave? Yeah,
Okay.
Keith. Yeah, because I think who is this? Dan has to leave. Raymond
Okay.
also has indicated that he has to leave. So let's take a quick group photograph, and then after that we can continue with Kakit's presentation. Otherwise, we won't have that pic, you know, for our memory. Okay. Kakit, if I can ask you to stop screen share for a while.
The
Okay.
mandatory photo taking.
Yes. Okay. Then the speakers, can you please switch on your cameras? That's good. So we have hold on, let me do it properly. All right. So can some of the Secretariat staff who has been helping also switch on your cameras, please? Nice to see you, Dr. Ng. Hello, long time no see. Okay, we'll take a picture. Okay, smile for the camera. 1, 2, 3. One more, smile for the camera. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much. I just want to take this opportunity to thank the ones that are leaving, Raymond and, Dan and also Dr. Ng. I hope you're staying or you'll have to leave also. Thank you for your time. Your presentations have been, very, very informative, very valuable for our members. Thank you so much. Back to you, Keith.
No, back to Kakit. Thank
Okay,
you.
Alright.
okay.
So since we are off like 1 hour, I try to catch up the time so everyone can leave early. Right? So today we are talking about cybersecurity on smart factory. My name is Kakit. As what I mentioned by Keith, I have a 15 years experience in telecommunications, looking at digital transformations and digital services. I have helped a lot of SME and also helped telcos to actually embark on those digital landscape, right? Since I can say in early 2009, all right? So, oh man, all right. So, the reason I came into cybersecurity, I found out that, we are moving too fast, period, right? We always embark on, let's do AI, like Raymond said, let's do AI or let's do transformations, things like that. But do you know that in all the things we say, it actually create a risk in the cyber world, right? So today we will handle some of this problem, give you an overview of what we are looking at today, right? So, okay, the slide working now. Oops. All right. So this is not an error. This is a typical ransomware screen that will block your window or block your PC or your system whenever they attack you. When you see this kind of screen with a Bitcoin's address, you know you have been ransomware. All right. So this is what happens to 32% of all manufacturing, right? That got the attack. So please, we all hope that nobody will need to see this thing. So back to the topic. So we have moved from Industrial 1 to Industrial 4. Today, many of our speaker like Keith Egg and also Raymond has talking about Industrial 5.0 and AI and things like that. But whenever we are moving things up to a digital world, the risk of cyber attack or cyber security is getting worse. It's getting higher. And based on the latest data, we have seen in the adoption of digital transformations, if you look at it, automations, cloud system, IoT, AI-driven analytics, like what Raymond said, but no one's talking about cybersecurity. You all don't care. You all can have a most advanced technology and system in the world running your system, but boom, one foul, your business will be corrupted and you can't run. As what what is it? This Ken Egg, right? He have said, delivery time is important. What if one screen like that will cost you 7 days? So don't underestimate cybersecurity. This is what I try to say here. Hence, let's look at the landscape of the manufacturing smart factory 4.0 that we are talking about. We have the cloud service, cloud data, production, machine learning, AI. We have all this gateway, IoT, wireless network. We also have the dashboard, controller, dashboard over the air, VPN control, this kind of thing. But all these things, anything that is connected to internet, anything that have a connection is a high risk for manufacturing, because all these are easy to be tampered and easy to be attacked by hacker or viruses. So this is what we are seeing today. So what are the common attacks that we are looking at? The common attacks we seen is the ransomware, as what you have seen just now. data theft. They were stealing your data. They came here, they hacked in your database, they steal your design, or worse, they delete your data so that you are become less capable of doing what you need to do. Imagine you have all these plan and things that your machine is using to produce the product, your cap design, things like that, and one day, pop, all gone. How are you going to print it? How are you going to make manufacturing the parts tomorrow? You can't. Then a most common one, the most common one that we always see, but it's the most popular one, we call it the phishing. Phishing mean that they will fake as one of your employee or fake as your vendor or your client that sending you an email that enticing you to click on it, and they will bring you to another site. Even the site could be just a normal site, like he bring you to a Google News, all right? But what you doesn't know, when you click the link, it already reach out to their dark web and they install the malware before they bring you back to the website. So you thought that you are just looking at some irrelevant informations, but what you did not know, you already been tapped. Okay, so device hijack, well, part of the phishing result. Device hijack is mean that they will, because most of the IoT devices like your CCTV, your sensor, and things like that, is a little computer, and most of them, they don't have any protections. Whoever able to access to them, they are open. So those are the things that are easy to be hijacked. So supply chains attack, all right, injection malware, compromised software, so spread from your vendor, spread from your internet, all right. So those are the 5 common cyber attack that we are seeing. So and ransomware is number 1 because 32% of manufacturing experience ransomware attack. Most of the attack they will go for ransomware because they know manufacturing are very important in terms of downtime. They can't take in downtime in the factory. All right. So if you look at the way of breaching, you can see 56% they like to target your operating technology system. So it's like your IoT product, your device, things like that, your hardware. So the other 75%, they always like to tap into your outdated system. So always make sure you update your system. If you are buying any software from outside, make sure you always get the latest version because with the latest patch. All right, those are the little tips that I always give to my customer. Okay, this is not new. This is the news. Manufacturing in Malaysia, manufacturing contribute 20% of all cyber threats in Malaysia. Manufacturing sector is one of the biggest cyber attacks targeted among all. Even telecommunication lost to you guys. Even government sector also lost to manufacturing. So manufacturing is a very critical sector. They have been impacted by cyber attack very commonly. Just that sometimes we just ignore it. All right. Why we ignore it? Okay. Before that, I think something is very good to share here is this is what happened to MPMA. Francis have shared me this information. This is we call a real life phishing attack that what they had done is that they have found the information on your website that you're gonna have a Plastech month, right? And then they will mimic the informations and they blast email to your member. And how do they know your member? Because MPMA also listed the member email and contacts in their website. Hence, they will use this to fish those member. If one member actually get into it and reply to them, they will send them a link and get them say that you have to click here to register yourself to confirm your attendance, and that boom, your member will be impacted. That's how easy it is. All right. So whenever you see this kind of email, always reliable to the good source. And also one of this on this one, okay. Okay, this one I would like to emphasize. All right. This one, the hacker have actually mimic an email from MPMA and send it out. to the member. So how they do it, actually, we call it we call it that this called masking, email masking, right? So the email sender could come from another IP, but they mask it as CC chair. So actually, the whole entire CC chair arrow CC chair at mpma.org.my is the name. They put the whole entire string in the name. So when you receive, you see the name, it look like a CC chat email. But actually, the bracket email at the back is actually something else. This is a very common way they do a phishing email on the cheapest model. So it still works, all right? Phishing effectiveness is still 22% of all. So there are 22% of people like to click on the phishing mail because they don't know. They're out of interest. Okay, so and also, okay, the audience blocking my screen. Okay, so what is the impact for the business, for the SME business? More important thing, one of the, in average SME cyber attack, it will cost about 250,000 for one SME to settle the problem. So 45% of it is actually due to the revenue loss from the downtime, especially on the manufacturing. All right. So as what Kev, I think a lot of you have mentioned that time is crucial. All right. Delivery time on the spot, productivity, efficiency. But what if no matter how efficient you are, how AI intelligent you are, you got a cyber attack, you can't run your operation, system all not working. You, not to say not working, you don't even dare to turn on your system, because once you turn on the system, the virus will spread even further. So you will have to call a stop for all progress, and then you have to wait for the cyber security expert to come and fix your problem. This downtime could cost from 2 days all the way to 7 days. The worst is all the way to 30 days. Depends on how severe is the system. All right. Then second part that are causing the impact is the recovery and IT fix, because you have all this system connected to each other. It's not as easy that I just replace a laptop. So you need to fix the problem, and to fix it, you need a cybersecurity experts to come here to first do an assessment, and then they find out where's the problem and they'll fix it. It depends on how severe is the case. If it spread to more than 1 devices, 3 devices, then the time will be longer. You can cost from 1 month all the way to 3 months time. So third, data loss. Some of them experience data loss during the attack because some of the file was corrupted and things like that. They can't use it. They have to do a backup, and that will cause them revenue loss as well. Reputation and customer loss. So this is very common. Every cyber attack impact your business, impact your delivery time, also will impact the reputations from your client as well. They will feel that you are not up to it. So this is a thing that before we embark to 4.0 or 5.0, I urge everyone to look into your cybersecurity planning as well. And two things that is off topic that are actually came from Malaysia. Malaysia Cybersecurity Act 2024, they also have already raising the bar to emphasize more on cybersecurity measurement plan to the NCII. Previously, they only target the NCII. NCII is a critical sector institute, okay, which those are the big corporate. They will impact the GDP of Malaysia. They call it the NCII, right? But now they extend the cybersecurity measurement to the vendor and their supply chain. So if you are company, you're building, you're develop, or you are providing supply to all this NCII company, you must have a cybersecurity plan in place. In case if you are not compliant, those company are not allowed to work with you. They will have to terminate your contract. So this is number one thing. My second thing, PDPA, as they also their amendments, their act at 2024 act, effective on June, that every single data must now able to be notified within 72 hours. All right. And also it no longer apply to the data controller. It apply to the data processor. Mean that even you do not own the data, but you have the you collect the data from your client to produce the thing for them, and then as a data processor, you are required to protect those data as well. If you fail protect, you fail to notify, you will be get in breach of this amendment, and the fine can go up to 1 million or jail sentence. Right? So I say all this bad news and all these crazy things happening. How do we do it? Actually, if you have to explain to you how do we do it, it will take maybe another 5 hours. So I just summarize up to 3 pillars. So 3 layers of protections. First, system protections. All right, you have to make sure all network are separated and your office network versus your factory network should be separated. So it means that you separate the network, internal network from your factory out from the world, so that they are not infected by outside. So these are how we are plan our system: firewall, network segmentations, and things like that. Data protections, always get backup. This is the only way you can do it. Always get backup. Do a proper data encryption. Make sure your file is encrypted so that no people can steal it. And also, thirdly, control who can access to your data. Don't open to an open link and share it through a WhatsApp. All right. Have a proper data protections plan that protect. So lastly, device protection. A lot of time now with handphone, with the mobile phone, with the smartphone that we have, with the tablet, with the PC, we can access our company system, access our data in everywhere. But that actually increase the risk of cyber attack as well, because if you can access, other people can access also. So always make sure that you protect your data, you protect your devices, and also make more secure login to your data, to your devices, so that nobody can tap into your devices as well. And also, a side note, disable unused feature from all this on your PC. Some people like to, they add in all these feature, but remove all these things. It doesn't need. It's a company PC. Use it for company purposes. So, also, one of the things that I can't emphasize enough: staff, human is the number one problem. 80% of cyber breach actually involve a human error. Sorry to say. Today, we have HR training, we have orientations, but when did a company in Malaysia do a cybersecurity awareness training before you enroll a new staff come in? Nobody did. All right. So hence, especially in manufacturing, there are a lot of blue collar. They may not have all this knowledge or the window of opportunity to learn about all these things. So if you don't have, they will tend to be more easy to let go, easy to accept anything. When they send an email, say, from my manager, he don't even do a cross check, he straight away click the link. All right. So staff training is important. Well-informed, vigilant staff serve as the first and most often effective line for defense against cyber attack. So most of the attack, they like to target it through the staff that are actually access to the endpoint or the system instead of the system itself. All right. So phishing awareness is something that is important to let them know, and also connectivity security. Don't allow them to simply connect. I forgot to bring I cannot finish my work. Can I bring the laptop, go back to my house and connect to my house Wi-Fi to continue the work? Or today I forgot it. I bring my own laptop and devices, come to a company. The data I keep it in this PC. I transfer a file to you. All these things we always do it all the time because we just want to keep things simple. But everything we do is actually increase the risk of cybersecurity, increase the risk of cyber attack as well. So awareness, human error are crucial, and we should even look into it. So By saying all that, it's simple to say what we need to do, but in reality, none of the SME are capable of doing it. If you look at it, security team in most manufacturing today, they are using a shared IT support. All right, they're using a part-time or freelancer that are actually helping. When you have a problem with your printer or your network, you call that guy, he come and fix it for you. All right, so those are people, they are not a cybersecurity expert. When you're breached, when you things, they can't help you. And what they need to do, they only help you to connect. They do not do any protection. Okay. Second, monitoring. You don't have anyone to monitor for your company. You have an antivirus. Okay, who monitor the antivirus? Who read the log of the antivirus to tell you what are the case that is happening? Antivirus may have a lot of alerts during the night. Okay, but what do you react to it? Do we even know how to read at the log and react to what the antivirus do? No, we don't. So most of the time, we have nobody monitor the manufacturing, the company. All right, and not to say audit. I think this is something that not any company or SME or even a big corp will actually hire to do audit for the cybersecurity measurement plan as well. So all in all, it's because SME have a very tight operation plan. If you look at it, as what Raymond had mentioned, the two speaker before us has said, there's so many things to invest. AI, cloud server, efficiency, learning, all these things. But how much were you willing to invest on the cybersecurity? All right. So hence it makes cybersecurity become the least important among all transformations in manufacturing and also in the whole entire SME in Malaysia. So what is CyberShare try to fix this problem? As I mentioned, I'm here to provide a cybersecurity for the SME. When I say for the SME, it had to be for the SME. So our mission is to deliver hassle-free cybersecurity solutions. All right, reliably and trustworthy. Okay, so we want to empower the SME for the digital landscape and digital transformation. Our solution is we will provide end-to-end solutions for the SME, from protection, monitoring, and all the way into insurance coverage as well. So you don't have to worry about anything. Once you have it, and we have all these in-house people will do all the monitoring and support for you, you don't even need to hire a single person to get up your cybersecurity. And this product actually is backed by Tokio Marine as our insurance provider, Infoline, a listed co that in cybersecurity, and HWD ourselves, who we have many years in looking at IT infrastructure and digital services.
Thank you,
So,
Kakit.
yes.
Sorry. We have to wrap up soon
Mm-hmm.
because we have some questions to address. Maybe 1 more minute.
Okay. So, in nutshell, just want to wrap it up. In nutshell, CyberShare is providing protection, monitoring, and insurance that help you to protect from end to end, and you don't have to, and that will help every organization. They have peace of mind when they have to do the operations. And there are a lot more to say, but since we're out of time, I will be more than happy that if you can reach out to me. All right. So for more information regards on CyberShare.
Okay, thank you, Kakit. Sorry, I had to move things along. One question from the audience. I'm not sure if this is entirely related. Is Azure or Dynamic a better choice? A better choice for cybersecurity?
Sorry, again, what zero dynamic?
Is Microsoft Azure or Dynamic cloud-based system better? Maybe in terms of cybersecurity versus something on-prem?
Okay, those are cloud-based system. So cybersecurity, CyberShare, the cloud-based system is good enough. It is good also, but they do not provide is that if your company have the IT support, they have the team that in cybersecurity, you can actually go for all these cloud-based systems security. But what they protect is your data in the cloud. But they don't protect the PC that you're using. Most of the phishing attack the PC, not attack the cloud, not attack the Azure. They don't attack Google, they don't attack Amazon because they know they are protected. But what they need to do is that they just attack your PC, and they can use your PC as take over your PC access to all your cloud without any restrictions.
So
So
you're
how do you
saying
protect? Yes.
so you're saying cloud-based systems are not protected. I mean, a different kind of protection.
Yes,
Is that what
yes,
you're
yes.
saying?
Yes, they protect your cloud. They protect your cloud, which is good, right? You have all the data in the cloud, but can you go into your cloud to access data? Yes, you can. You go in through your PC. What if the hacker hack into your PC? He can become a key to access to the cloud to retrieve all the data or encrypt all the data. What can you do? Azure will not stop him because he's key. How do you protect yourself that your PC being used by other people?
I think that's a very pertinent point. Sometimes they say security is only as strong as the weakest link.
Yes, yes, and as I say, 80% is human made. So today, when we found out this problem, we have a open eye that say that, are we selling cybersecurity the wrong way? We always sell cybersecurity, protect your system, protect your network, protect your thing. But the easy target is always the PC, the one that you are using now, the one that everyone of us, 12 of us here, they're using now.
Okay, I think that would be all, Kakit. Thank you so much for sharing. And
All right.
Kakit's and his contact information are right there. So please feel free to reach out to him to secure your business. May I just ask you to kindly unshare your screen so I can introduce our last but not least the speaker who is very familiar to a few of us at MPMA. Keng Ju is the technical director and co-founder of Novatech Innovation. Novatech specializes in the design, development, and supply of automated systems and solutions for the manufacturing industry, including automated systems using cobots. With more than 25 years of experience, Kingju can identify actual needs of manufacturers before proposing the most suitable and effective solutions. I think that's what all of us are seeking for. In 30 years ago, he was awarded a scholarship to study at RMIT Melbourne. He graduated with first-class honors and has won numerous academic awards. In his presentation, KJ will share with us why and how cobots will revolutionize manufacturing process practices, including plastic injections applications. Maybe also do share more on not just plastic injection because we have many segments in MPMA. The floor is yours. Please give him a warm round of welcome.
Yes, thanks, Keith. Everyone can see my slides now, just to
Yes.
confirm. Good. So first of all, I'd like to thank MPMA for inviting me to share some insights in this webinar. When Sujata sent me the itinerary and I found out that, I'm the last one and it's supposed to end at 12, I think my biggest challenge is actually not so much the content, but how to make sure you guys don't go for your early lunch here and just miss out hopefully important presentation for this year. So instead of coming up with a presentation, trying to tell you what you should or should not do, I think my main objective of my presentation is more of like how to inspire you. Hopefully by end of this presentation, you will inspire a few of you to actually to do it. Because you can actually. All right. So my topic for the day is about collaborative robots and why it can be a very quick and flexible automation solution at its best. All right. So in my first 20 years of experience in automation, I realized that actually to come up with the automation solution could be very, very challenging, even up until today, simply because To get even a simple pick and place application, for automation, you require really specialized expertise. You probably need some robotic engineers if you are looking at conventional robotics. You need designers, you need PLC programmers, you need technicians. You need a team for you to be able to start your own automation. All right. And in most cases, when you talk about traditional automation, it's very time consuming. You are talking about weeks to months, even before you get your first movement from the automation system. And even then, you might not even know whether it's working to what you expect to do. You probably need to spend about a few weeks to do troubleshooting and fine-tuning. When you talk about traditional automation, in most cases, it's very rigid, the solution. They are designed to be very specific to particular products, sizes, processes, and there's very little room for you for changes or even mistakes and things like that, because you might end up spending a lot more time and resources just to get it right. Yeah. So it's very rigid and there's no room for you to move. And because of all these factors, when you sum everything up, it's a pretty high investment cost, and you are basically tied down to what you have done. All right. Now, let me share with you what's this video. I'll give about 5 minutes to look through this video. Yeah.
作为世界最大卫浴配件制造商
As one of the world's largest manufacturers of bathroom accessories, Runner Industrial Corporation places special emphasis on time to market and product quality. We are devoted to developing leading-edge automation technologies that contribute to a highly efficient, flexible, and reliable production line. Our goal is to meet market demand by upgrading the efficiency of the production process. Universal Robots surprised us with their efficiency and quality, which is much higher than traditional robots.
In the past year, Runner has installed more than 60 UR robots in their production line. There are various applications which include robots working in tandem, in product assembly, product pick and place processes, injection molding, degating, heat welding and gas testing, pre-placing of parts, automatic pick and place, vision-guided pick and place, and robots on slides managing injection molding machines. With so many steps in the assembly process, it is difficult for most single-arm robots to do everything efficiently. That isn't a problem in this setup with 2 UR robots working in tandem. With flexible joints and compact size, they take up very little room, so 2 different arms can share the same space, enabling the entire process to be accurate and flexible. When assembling a product, the robot first takes the nut from the vibration disc exit and places it into the point, picks up the part to be machined, and then finally removes it. With the UR robot joints capable of 360-degree rotation in each direction, the robot handles the assembly process requiring great flexibility. A UR robot was inverted and installed in the same space as a small disc workstation. After the screw is tightened, the robot takes out the finished product and chooses the position depending on the condition of the conveyor. One UR10 robot can complete 4 processes: injection molding, degating, heat welding, and gas testing, while a traditional production worker typically does only 1 process and leaves the semi-finished products to be passed on to the next process via the turnover box. When pre-inserting a part, a UR robot can operate 3 sets of injection molding machines. Utilizing a tool mounted with 6 grippers and a flexible wrist joint, the robot can quickly switch to any loading position. Using the high flexibility elbow joint, the gripper moves from above to free up horizontal movement. This UR robot is equipped with a vision system to locate parts. Just put a part on the conveyor, and the visual system determines its type and locates position. This data is transmitted to the robot, which picks up the part, reducing the need for manpower in the feeding process. Fitting a UR robot on a slide rail can extend its effective reach. The rail eliminates the need to move a heavy fixed machine and supports a multi-workstation operation. A robot can automate the process by managing multiple injection molding machines. This saves labor cost while improving efficiency.
The high installation and maintenance cost of traditional industrial robots worried us before we discovered universal robots. Their low energy consumption and no need for safety fences freed us from having to rebuild our existing production line. The simplified programming process allowed us to continue every operation without the help of a specialized programmer. Universal robots has significantly reduced our cost.
A universal robot can be installed, adjusted, and put into production fast. It takes less than an hour to redeploy a UR robot. With UR, a new project can be up and running in a week, while it takes as much as 6 months to get a traditional robot ready. Universal Robot's production efficiency also saves time and helps us cope with dynamic market demands.
The company works hard to create a work environment that supports the health and development of employees who are working with UR robots side by side. The robots free the employees from heavy and repetitive work.
Cobots are a powerful innovation in the industrial manufacturing sector.
Sorry, I think there's something wrong with the video. It didn't move on. So never mind, I think it was close to the end. So let's move on for the next slide. So a quick summary of the video about collaborative robots. I won't go to the detail of what collaborative robots are, but you can, if you need any questions about it, we can discuss about it later. But basically, what I'm trying to show is that, with collaborative robots, number one, you do not require any robotics or specialized skill to start. You just need to know how to operate a smartphone. And more importantly, is your willingness to learn and explore. It's very flexible. You can have one robot to do different and many applications. The program is easy to do with intuitive user interface. Your deployment could be from hours if you're very familiar with a robot or you have already existing tool. It's collaborative simply because the robot by itself, just got to be careful about that. The robot itself is collaborative, meaning that if the robot hits you, the robot will stop. But in most cases, we need to look at as far as in terms of application. What I mean by that is that if you put a knife at the end of a robot, then the application itself is no longer collaborative. It's not the robot, but actually the knife that you put on the robot that will actually hurt or kill you. So in that case, then the application is no longer collaborative. But the robot itself, if you remove the tools, it is collaborative in the sense that when it will to hit you, it will not injure you. So that's what it means by collaborative. In most cases, for collaborative robots, they need very little space because number one, if the application itself is collaborative, you do not need caging. You can actually put the robot beside an operator or somewhere that is close to your workspace, and to work together with operator, they can share the same workspace. If as far as the power consumption is concerned, it's very little because it consumes a single phase electric supply. Anywhere you can find a 3-pin plug, you just plug into it and you're ready to go. But more importantly, it actually enables and empower everyone to imagine and to be creative. Okay, that's the key part of it. Now, first of all, I'd like to thank Eddie and Plastech as well, because they allow me to share some of the success story that that's done at Plastech. So this is actually done here in Malaysia. For those who do not know, Plastech is actually a small SME company. They have less than 30 workers and about 20 injection machines. So in 2000, they engaged us to deploy the first cobot. And during a time while everyone is struggling with MCO, with people and so forth as well, they managed to get one robot to run with the machine 24/7 without any issue. Yeah. So that was a success story. So what I mean, let's get into a point when a clear indication or a clear success story on how cobots can be used for SME. So as you see on the photo, it's a very typical setup of injection machines. You got two machines side by side and probably a space of about 12 or 16 feet in between. Imagine if we were to put in an automation system between these two machines, and if the machine has to be permanently placed on it, you don't have any other area for other things. Yeah? So a permanent automation system, traditional automation system, or even a conventional robot will be quite challenging, if you want to use back the same space without having to move the machine. So let's start. You need to have an application. You have a cobot. And what you need to do is you take off a tool that you do not need. And then quickly you put on the tool that you need as an NMR tool. And you're ready to go. Once operation, let's say, is finished within 2 or 3 days or a week, and then you need to take it out because your injection machine needs to do other things. You use a pallet truck, you take out the whole assembly out, including a robot, and then your machine is again free to do other things. All right. So that's how a collaborative robot could be useful, because number one, you do not need caging. You can design in such a way that the whole robot, together with all the ancillary tools, sits on a movable platform. And using a pallet truck, you should be able to remove the whole thing or put it back. And you will notice on the floor, just beside the machine, you have pins, you have metal plates which are grouted onto the floor. You can use this as quick positioning mechanism where you can take out and put it back on the same place quickly using a pallet truck. Yeah. Again, once probably after a few days, for this machine you have a different product but same machine, and for a different process. So you can actually just change the tool. You notice the tool is a little bit different, but it's the same cobot. The way that it interacts with the injection machine is different as well. Instead of going directly onto the machine to pick up the workpiece, you can get the robot to work together with your gantry robot. In this case, because you need to flip the workpiece, then that's where it's useful to use the cobot in tandem with your gantry robot. Yep, so it can do flipping. Now, with the same tool, but different injection machine, if you design it properly, you can use the same tool for internal gripping, external gripping as the first case, or it could be used as internal gripping on the second case. Different workpiece, different machine, but it's the same robot, same setup. Basically, the first one is to do hole drilling, and the second one is to do milling, to mill off the cut gate, so that you can machine to have a flush finishing. Yeah. Now, the third example again is you change the tool completely, but with the same robot and different injection machine, you can get the robot to again manage the workplace extraction machining using a different tool. Okay. So just a quick summary. What does cobot mean? All right. And why I call it quick and flexible automation. Simply for the fact that you could have just one cobot, but you can actually share it with different applications, different products. And you can have a quick change tools to suit for the required application and also products. You can have multiple ancillary tools to work in tandem with the machine for different sort of processes. You can couple with different injection machine because everything can be kept mobile. You do not have cages. You do not need cages, assuming that the application is collaborative. You do not have any sharp tools or laser or things that could hurt operators. The programming, the setup is very quick. The deployment is very fast. The changeover from one tool to another can be done in a very, very fast manner if you design properly. You can mount actually in any sort of orientation. It's lightweight. And because of that, you can use it for many different sort of applications with just one single robot. Yeah. Okay, here's an example of some applications that can be used for injection machine. Today, there are more than 9 different models available or from different brands, from different makers, all right? But they share the same features such as easy to use, collaborative, and so forth. So as far as the application is concerned, it's actually not limited to this, but it's almost unlimited. It's actually based on your imagination, yeah? Lastly, what I want to show is this automation capital allowance, just for information. For those who are aware of this, is good, but I just want to bring in a point here. It's actually equivalent to a double tax deduction. Today, the maximum cap given for each company is already up to 10 million, yeah, for investment that you are entitled for tax relief using this incentive. Okay. So with that, I thank you. All right. If there's any question, I'll be more happy to provide some answers. Back to you, Keith.
Thank you very much, KJ. So far, no questions. So if
Good.
anyone wants to, feel free to ask some questions. Maybe I'll start.
No worries.
The question is, I know we've been talking, and I also
The cost.
know that yeah. But again, for many of the people here, how can we start? Right, I buy one robot, then what? You know, just
Yep.
enlighten us a bit.
Yep. As I said, yeah. All right. I think the key thing is to learn how to use. Don't treat it as a robot. So imagine you want to start a plastic injection machine. You just got to buy a plastic injection machine and then you learn your way through it. Yeah. The only answer that I can give to people is with the cobots. All right, it's actually very, very easy to use. So you just got to start with a simple process, learn how to use it, and then with this you are able to move forward from there. I know it's easier said than done, but we can. Let's say what I can offer is, anytime you need some answers, by all means you can always give me a call. Then I'll be more happy to visit you, to discuss with you, to run you through from step 1 all the way up to step when you can actually use it for actual production. Yeah.
And I think the question on everyone's mind, right?
Yeah.
How much is it? Someone just asked in the chat box.
Yes. Like I said, the good thing about where we are today, because the technology itself is close to about 20 years. All right. So if we talk about 10 years ago, as I was shown on the video, yeah, just for information, the video that I show in China, the one in China, that video is already 10 years old. All right. And 10 years ago, this company in China already has 60 robots. And the fact is that during that time, the robots, they are limited with just 3 different models here. All right. Today, the robots has actually evolved into the 4th generation with 9 different models available. All right. So the good thing about that today is that you got a wide range of robots that you can choose. The Chinese robots, for sure, will start you from probably 30,000 or 40,000 ringgit. And you can go up all the way about 200 or 300,000 ringgit, depending on the size of the cobalt. Today you have cobalts that have payloads that can do up to about 30 kilos, 30 kilo payload, and which some of those can go up to about 2 meters of range. All right, so that's sort of envelope on the maximum that you can push in terms of what you want the cobalt to do. So forget about getting the robot to do something when you need a 40 kilo payload, but 30 kilo payload is what I call the extreme of the envelope that you wish the robot to cobalt to do some applications for you. Right. So again, for price, it's 30,000. You start from about 30,000 ringgit from a China-made cobalt all the way to 200 or 300,000 ringgit, depending on the size. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for answering. I hope that addresses the question proper.
No worries.
The question. So again, what I said earlier, your examples are a lot of injection molding with plasma as an example. So
sure.
What are the applications for other segments of plastics? For example, flexible packaging.
I see.
And
okay.
film extrusion. What?
Sure. If you talk about extrusion, again, one will be a good example depending on your finish at your end of the line. If the end of the line, and then for every roll or every drum or things like that, if it's less than 30 kilo, I'm not sure whether that's within the scope or not. We can actually get the robot to help you to do palletizing, all right, to do pick and place. Or say, for example, today you need somebody to do carton erector for you. You need somebody in probably 2 or 3 appraisers to help you to open the carton, put in a form, or you use a traditional carton erector, which could be troublesome as well because there's a lot of downtime. That's where a cobalt could help you. All right. Number 2, things like inspection. You need to have a camera system, not just to take one photo, but different photos from different angles. So instead of having to use 3 or 4 cameras, you can actually put a camera onto a robot, and you get the cobalt to go to different angles, different positioning to help you to do inspection as well. All right. So there are actually unlimited things that the robot can do. You just got to try it out and think about, hey, I just need something and try it. Yep. I think the limit, as I said, is usually the payload and the reach. Yeah? All right. So you don't expect the robot to do something that's more than 50 kilo and so forth as well. As long as the payload is less than 30 kilo, and then it's a matter of how to do it.
Or the limit is your imagination, another way to
Yes.
put it. So
Yes.
maybe if you open up the questions yourself, KJ, there are 2 more questions if you can address.
Oh, okay. Let me
One of it
stop
is
the share.
oh, okay, 3 more questions. So one of it is cycle time, right?
Yeah. Okay. So the good news today is that usually for the first 2 generations of cobalt, usually we talk about speed, how fast. Not so much of a cycle time, but depending on how far you want the robot to go, it's very limited in terms of how fast the robot can move. All right. So today, with the latest generation of cobalt, you can actually program the robot to go up to 4 meters per second. All right, but doesn't mean that you will always reach that 4 meters per second. Because imagine if my distance from one to point is just 200 mm. Before the robot can reach 4 meters, it will reach from point A to point B. It's probably that sort of factor. But if the distance between point A to point B is, let's say, one extreme to the other extreme, then for sure you can program the robot to go up to 4 meters per second. All right. A lot of things will say that it's due to time and things. For sure, we understand that. All right. Again, a lot of things got to do. There are many ways that you can do to overcome the time constraint. All right. But for one, if you need it to be really high speed, just like a conventional robot, then yes, there could be a limitation on that. All right. I hope that answers your first question. Number 2, can do cutting extrusion to length too? Yes, and again, it depends. You can put a knife or a laser. I'm more worried about the extrusion speed. All right, if the extrusion speed of film is very, very fast, then the robot has to actually move very, very fast. All right. So again, how fast is the extrusion? Again, it's something that we we got to study. But for sure, you can put a knife, you can put a laser cutter, you put something at the end of the robot, then for sure it will be able to help you to do that. Yep. The final question: system integrate included? Yes, yes and no. Okay. Yes, as far as the services that's available from Novotech. Again, I don't just sell robot, all right? My biggest role to the industry is to help them to start with actually one complete system first, so that then it will be easier for the end users to learn. My biggest objective is to encourage end users, manufacturers, to actually learn and eventually be able to do everything by yourself. Most of my customers today, they are able to do that. All right. They for sure they need some assistance from me on and off in terms of the design and stuff like this, but it can be done. All right. So the prices, then that's where the part is very subjected to the type of application. Yeah. But as far as the complete solution or turnkey solution, we will be able to help you on that. All right. I hope that answers your question. The prices that I gave earlier are the prices just for the cobots itself. Yeah. Anything out of that, then for sure, those are additional system integration costs. Yeah.
Thank you very much, KJ. And you know, to the person asking the question, feel free to reach out to Kengju if you have any system integration requirements. I think he'll be more than happy to take on the challenge to automate and drive the industry forward. And with that, I think that brings to the end of the first session of Plastech Month. You all have been tremendous today at asking questions and being very engaging. I hope to see you all on Thursday, where we have on advanced materials on the 6th of November. So the floor is back to MPMA, Sujata. My name is Keith, and thank you very much once again.
Okay, thanks, Kate. I think before we all leave for lunch, we just want to do a short poll just to gauge participants' feedback on the webinar, speakers, etc. So can we just pull out that short poll? It's just 5 questions. Once you take the questions, then we can end the session. And while you're taking the questions, as Keith said, Thursday, there's a webinar on advanced materials. We have a good speakers for the webinar. So we are hoping that those of you who are interested to know more about advanced materials will join us on Thursday. So registrations are still open. Don't miss it. Just to give you some background, we have somebody from Petronas speaking about graphene and polymer. We also have a Japanese speaker speaking on high performance polymers as far as engineering plastics go. And we have a very young speaker, in fact, from Gaia Group of companies, speaking about specialty materials for tomorrow's packaging and industrial needs. So 3 speakers, 6th of November, Thursday at 10 a.m. Please join us. So we have only 16 persons taking up the poll. We have still 58 people in the group. If you could quickly undertake the poll so that we can quickly wrap this up and end the session for today. Answers are still coming in. I think once you have taken the poll, you can drop the call. And having said that, I just want to take this opportunity to thank the moderator, Keith. Thank you so much for moderating today's session. I want to thank the speakers. I think many of them who are left, but Kengju is still in the call. So thank you, Kengju, for a very insightful presentation and paper. And I also want to thank all the participants for your participation and your support.
Have a good day,
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Keith.
Welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Jata.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.